King Cantona here with a great comment. He says, it wasn't the best game for viewing wise, but I think it's a solid result for Arsenal. Sometimes you have to adjust your game and get the best result for that one game. I hate Terry's disloyalty, not Arsenal. I'm not disloyal. I need to respond to this because I think King Cantona's a troll, but I'll do it anyway. I'm not being disloyal to Man United. My support or defending of Arsenal in this space is protective of Arsenal. This is what I don't like about modern day football punditry. If we all allow it to become fact, that it's like a bottle job mentality to go away from home in title races and get draws and play pragmatically as an example. If that makes you a lesser team, Man United fans pushing that narrative, you are undoing Sir Alex Ferguson's legacy, you numpties, because he did that on a regular basis. What I will always do when it comes to talking football is I will look at what's being said and think, I honestly do. I go, how does this impact my legends and my team if this now becomes the written rule of football? And things change very easily. If the consensus starts to say and believe something, everybody sort of follows suit. Look what picked up pace in the international break about the nonsense about Thierry Henry. And we all disagree with that. All it takes, though, is the mainstream media to start pushing it and then for it to become the narrative and everyone's view of somebody changes. That's why I do it. I can't sit here and allow lies to be spewed. And it is bullshit that it's not like a team in a title race to get a pragmatic away draw in a title race against a title rival. It's the weirdest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Like I said at the start of my segment, we were criticising Arteta last season for not doing what he did on Sunday. It's as simple as that. So I feel he just needs credit for it. Whether it results in the league or not remains to be seen.
I'm going to go through some super chats here. This first one says, I will rewatch the game and I can tell you that if Arteta tried to be brave, go for the goal and not counter, Pep's tactical change during the match would have been destroyed. We forget City can press, but Arsenal fans will tell you they don't want someone. I don't know what that means.
Arsenal fans will
not sure.
I don't know what that means either.
I'm not.
Simeone. He meant Simeone.
Right. Yeah. I'm not missing church again to watch Arsenal versus City. 28 possession in the first half from Arsenal sucks. Deo should be exposed. He predicted 2-3-1 to City.
Don't worry.
He didn't.
How many?
That Barrister set it for Arteta and that.
How many City fans predicted that they were going to beat Arsenal though?
Rory, what was your prediction? Because I actually don't know.
I said it was going to be a tough game.
My prediction was 1-1, and I made a prediction of 1-1 at the start of my watch. And on TikTok, it was getting flooded with "You're not getting a draw, you're getting smashed, you're getting slapped," and all of that stuff. And then we do get a draw, and suddenly it completely.
See, I don't have an issue with that, Rory. I had Lee was on my channel, and Lee predicted a 1-1. The amount of abuse that he got for not backing his team. How can you not back this team? We're gonna smash them. This, and that. He explained exactly what happened in the game. He just said we're going to a team that has one of the best home away. He explained the home away. I don't even remember the stats, but he got criticized for that. This is why I'm saying, if you're going to criticize the level-headed Arsenal fans, why can I not criticize the ones that said I don't fear going to Etihad? I don't care if Dio said I respect them. You still said I don't fear them. Clearly, your manager feared them. So you had the whole.
Are you not hearing his point though? I know he's not here to defend himself, but you're not hearing his point. All he meant is that I don't fear getting battered, which is what happened. They didn't get battered. He said he respects them. He didn't say I don't fear them because we're superior and we are going to smash them to pieces in every part. He just thought, because he broke it down on the Top 6 show on Thursday, that we will catch them on the counter and I think we can score 2 or 3 goals and I think that'll be the score. He didn't disrespect them. I know the scoreline sounds heavy, but he didn't say anything bad about them. And saying he doesn't fear them, he clarified then and he clarified on today's show. He just means he doesn't feel that Arsenal are not, and they're not. Arsenal are not whipping boys anymore for the top teams. That's all he meant by it, Staffy. I get where you're coming from, but you're always going to get the pantomime in the comment section. Whatever you say, you do this enough on straight facts. Whatever you say, there's a group of people that think
they can hold that. Yeah. They can hold that. That's why I just Dario, not them. They can hold that.
City are on course for one of their worst final tallies since Conte won the league. Ask me, this team is very toothless without Gundogan and Mahrez. Walker, Stones, Edison, Ake was starting the game out. Grealish just back. But they still started. I still say this. They still started with Ruben Diaz, who they all said was better than Van Dijk. They started with 85 million Guardiol. They started with Ake. They started with a Kanji that's brilliant, and they brought on a brilliant player in Rico Lewis. Let's not pretend that they didn't have Phil Jones.
That was a strong City 11. When I saw the City 11 on paper, that was a strong City 11.
Yeah,
but this
I
is
agree.
the thing. There's an agenda for every occasion. If we'd gone out, played aggressive attacking football and lost, it would have been Arteta's naive, the team are fragile, they don't have the mentality, and they've bottled it again. If we'd gone out and played attacking football and beaten them, it would have been City have fallen off, they had a load of injuries, they didn't have any of their back four, Arsenal got lucky, they got lucky with injuries. Like there is no winning. The agendas are going to agenda, and
do you know one thing I'll say on City, and this might not go down popular with the comments or whatnot, but I've been thinking this for a while now. I feel for this run-in, and you lot might be like, oh my God, he's their best player now. I feel like KDB should come on as an impact player because it's evident when Foden's playing on the left or right, he doesn't impact the game as much. I feel, because you saw it in the Newcastle game, he came on St. James Park, KDB changed that game. I think where he's had 2 injuries in the last couple months, he's slowly breaking down because that is the coming of age. That's natural. I just feel now, let Foden cook centrally because it's evidently he's having his best season because he's playing in preferred position, and then introduce KDB last 15, 20 minutes. I think Champions League games you can start him, but I think in this run-in, putting KDB in there, it's becoming a detriment to Phil Foden because he's having his best season when he's central, but you saw it the weekend again, out wide, he's not as impactful. But I just thought that's a take.
And that's what I was going to talk about before Dio started to start shouting. I was saying, like, with City, I think they had a strong lineup and whatnot. But for me, Terry, they weren't creating enough clear-cut chances. I know aerially, Gabriel and Gabriel and Saliba were good in the air. But when you just watch them, they weren't fluid enough for me. Do you know what I mean? And a big part of that is playing guys out of position. Foden left wing, you know, Bernardo Silva and Foden as wingers. You know, KDB, he hasn't really got the legs anymore. Like I said the other day, Foden's been their best player in my opinion, but then he's being shoved into a position where he's not, comfortable. You know, there's only so much criticism I can give to a Foden when it's being played out of position. It's the same. I've got the same energy for my players as well. Do you know what I'm saying?
I hear that, and obviously Robert alludes to here. I mean, like Haaland was nullified, and I think what it showed, Haaland doesn't like being roughed up. There's one thing about if you can rough him up, and then of course you've got to stop those balls from coming into him. They found it really hard yesterday, and I do think again the irony is, and when you say that, is I also understand why some Arsenal fans weren't scared of going to the Emirates. I agree with Staffy. Anyone disrespecting City is foolish, but they aren't as potent and as dangerous last year. As someone that wanted Arsenal to win, my biggest criticism was they didn't start with enough pace on the football pitch. And I know they've had some injuries as well, but they needed more pace on that counter-attack because even not an average City, that's the wrong word, City off their game are still amazing and will hold that ball and be able to hurt you. This here says, let's focus on Arsenal's tactics rather than speaking about Haaland not being able to control the ball. I mean, I don't want to, because I've got to end pretty soon, but I wanted to, Roy Keane said he looks like a League One player. Is that a bit too harsh, Staffy, that he looks like a League One player?
Let's just be honest. We all want to say it, but we're just too embarrassed to say because of how many goals we scored. The guy's just a bang average footballer. He's an elite athlete who could score goals. And he doesn't even score a variety of goals. His goals, the way he scored goals are actually limited. He's not good with his head. He doesn't score from outside the box. He doesn't take set pieces. Let's just be very honest. He's a freak of nature who's playing as a striker, and he has so much support around him, which is why he scored all these goals last season. Really, if you're being honest, and I had this argument earlier on my channel with Griggs, and he made a very good point. He said, put Haaland in the early 2000s. How would he do there? Would he be the best striker?
You know, the problem is, Staffy, right? This generation, we're fixated on stats. So if you score, don't get it twisted. Last season, that was an alien year to score 50 plus goals. But I feel like even if he was to start scoring 20 plus, 30 plus, I don't think we'll put him on his pedestal. I think because the last season was so alien. What he did at Dortmund as well in Salzburg, we have to include that. But I actually agree with you because it's not popular to say, oh, he's a bad player because of the goals he gets. I feel like that papers over the cracks. But I think what Roy Keane said, it wasn't that bad, but people are just going to cry. Oh, but he gets 50 goals a season. How can you say that? But like you said, Staffy, I said he don't really have Barrett. He doesn't really score headers like that. Like you said, outside of the box. I remember he scored one.
Bro, he's like 6'5" and doesn't score headers, bro. 6'5" and doesn't score headers, bro.
And they're the chances that they're creating for him.
It's very rare.
This is what I was saying to you, Roms, earlier. These are the chances they were creating for him. They just kept whipping it in, and every single time Saliba, Gabriel, doof, you know what I'm saying? Every single time, bro.
Gabriel absolutely sent them all game. And for how big you are as a player, no Diddy, but like, there's no way, bro, that you're getting dominated like that by Gabriel. Bro, he couldn't give him an answer. Gabriel literally just talked him all game. And then the game ended, and then he just smiled at him. He's like, okay. He little broed him. He's like, all right, good game. That's how he did.
What I would say, though, about it is this, and maybe we're being a little bit too harsh in the sense of I think he's got, like, his heading needs to improve. Let's not forget how young Haaland is, and there's still room for him to develop. And I'd liken it to Trent Alexander-Arnold. There was lots of flaws in Trent's game. I know he's had injuries this year, but defensively in the last 18 months, he's got better. But we were judging him and comparing him to Ashley Coles and Maldini's at their pomp when he was 18, 19 years old. And certain elements of your game develop later on as a football player. The thing with Haaland is we don't judge him as a 21, 22-year-old because of how many goals he scores. We sort of view him as a fully formed, completely there football player. And I think I've seen him hold the ball up much better than that before in other games. Last season, the Champions League run, he was brilliant at times. But yesterday, he was absolutely...
we did the same thing for Rooney when he came to United. No one treated him like he was a 20, 21-year-old.
I agree.
He was at his prime. And the proof was that by 27, I'll tell you something, because the proof was that by 27, Rooney was washed. So actually, Rooney's prime was between 18 and like, I don't know, like 25, 26.
Read Rooney's book. Rooney was washed because that man drunk and ate too much and didn't look after himself.
I get that, but that's beyond the point, Terry. I get what you're saying.
I'm just saying. The point.
No, I'll tell you why I'm saying this is beyond the point, because this could be Haaland's prime. We don't know how much he could improve. He
might not improve. Yeah, that element's true. But Rooney peaking and being gone by 27, 28 was due to his off-field life. This guy would come back to preseason training and be about 2 stone overweight. And before he could even start getting fit for the season, he'd have to lose 2 stone every year. You see it with boxers. Whenever you abuse your body like that, and you look at Haaland, that guy's no ounce of... I don't think he'll have that same issue. But let's get through these super chats here. This is a Pep dropping Kovacic back as the arterial centre-back changed the way we had to press and actually forced us back more. We couldn't press KDB or Rodri. Thank you, Tevin, for the super chat, bro. They got the same
Saka
playing...
Saka.
Sorry, they got Saka playing right wing back, and people are shocked that that was barely involved. We needed to be better in playing that final pass, and we would have won. Yeah, and Jesus checking that run as well. City didn't attack either. Kept possession does not mean you attacked. Horseshoe football at home, 1 shot on target from a poor header is garbage.
And that's what I'm saying. A lack of fluidity in the game, man.
Absolutely. I think Arsenal feared them. That's still Arsenal not beat any top 12 team away from home. That's why this draw is on current form away from home. You're not beating anyone in the top 12 away from home?
Maybe not. I don't know. Off the top of my head, I don't know. Maybe not.
How many of them have you played away? That's a great question.
We still got Spurs away. We've still got United away.
No,
we did. We smashed West Ham away.
There we go. Yeah, there we go. I didn't think that could be true. City went 5 at the back for the majority of the second half due to attack and our cap. We parked the bus, and City did too when we were on the ball. So that's also true. Thank you. We've done that super chat. Arsenal baby project. Arsenal is in form, and you park the train. Dio, brother, you run your mouth too much, but your players aren't it.
I agree.
Thank you. Oh no, we scored 5+ in 3 back away games, and now we played 1 pragmatic game against City away. Shoot me. Rivals getting in their feelings about Arsenal fans' predictions because they have nothing else on us.
See, this is why I won't accept, Terry. When I made a prediction early in the season that we're gonna smash Spurs, and then all my team missed sitters in the first half and we lost, no one talked about the context, and they all cooked me. But now when I'm cooking someone else, which is something we always do on the terrace, all of a sudden you're not allowed to do that. Bro, just get with the program. That's what we do on the top 6. You talk shit, you hold smoke. That's how it is, bro. If you're sensitive, then don't watch the show. I don't know what to tell you.
Rewatched the game, and Guardiola wasn't that good. Arsenal let him play into his weakness. Rewatching football games really does reveal a lot of misconceptions us fans make due to emotions at the time. It's very true. Rewatching football matches is different. Although some still make me nervous, which is weird. Whenever I watch Chelsea Man United Champions League final back, I still get nervous like we're going to lose. That makes sense. Where's the noise about City having not scored at all against Arsenal this season? Rory's take the stand, my guy. Obviously, we spoke about that. Great point. Imagine if every big game is played the way Arsenal did just to protect a point. There's a big difference defensively. But the thing is, Dan, it's a good challenge, but they wouldn't have to because they're not going to play against a team of City's level in every single game. My brother, who is an Arsenal fan, has mixed feelings about the City game because the result has basically made Liverpool absolute favourites for the Premier League.
I've got a quick say on that. I've got a quick say on
that.
I know we have to wrap up, but Terry and Staffy, I think if we beat you at Old Trafford, I then think we'll win the league. And I say that to say this. This was at the weekend. There was no Konate. Konate was available, but didn't play. But you've got Alisson, Trent, Jones, and Jota. And if you can include Konate as well, them 5 come straight back into the fold. KJ clipped this, but I believe if we beat United, we then go on to win the league. I'll say that with chest. But we must win that game. We must.
Seven here said the difference came with how they deployed Kovacic. He was like another centre-back positioning wise. That affected how we could press. A few comments on that. Very, very true. You were going to say something a second ago, Rory.
I was going to say, like, people talk about, parking the bus and this, that, and the other. If Liverpool had come to the Emirates and parked the bus and got a point, they'd be 5 points ahead of us. So I don't understand why it's considered such a bad thing. Like,
yeah, you're absolutely spot on.